Is obesity the driver of all of these chronic metabolic diseases? They certainly go together. There's no question that obesity and diabetes are related. There's no question that obesity and heart disease are related. Is obesity actually the cause? Now, there are 3 fat depots in your body, and they all contribute to disease differently. So we need to understand them in order to be able to parse them and figure out what's the big problem. First fat depot, the one you can see, the subcutaneous fat, the big butt fat, if you will. The does this bathing suit make me look fat? By the way, never answer that question. That turns out to be where your body wants to put excess energy, because that is the safest place in the body to put excess energy. Can you overload your subcutaneous fat to the point where you can actually become sick? And the answer is yes, you can, but it takes a lot, like on the order of 22 to 25 pounds. And the reason is because when that fat depot, that subcutaneous fat depot, gets completely filled, it will start generating cytokines, abnormal proteins, which will then go into the bloodstream and cause the liver to become insulin resistant, to not do its job. And when that happens, you now have chronic metabolic disease. But you have to gain a fair amount of weight before you can start seeing that phenomenon occur. Second fat depot, visceral fat or big belly fat. Now, big belly fat is not related to calories. Big belly fat is not related to food. Big belly fat or visceral fat is actually related to stress. And the reason we know that is because you can take patients who are clinically depressed, who are anhedonic, and because they're not eating, their subcutaneous fat is going down, but their visceral fat is actually going up. Because the hormone cortisol, the stress hormone that drives adiposity, is in full force, and it is putting extra energy into visceral fat. And visceral fat is much more dangerous than subcutaneous fat. Only about 4 pounds will lead to metabolic dysfunction. And finally, there's the third fat depot, liver fat. And liver fat is at ground zero, because the liver is what this is all about. When your liver stores fat, it gets sick quickly. How many pounds does your liver have to store before it gets sick? And the answer is about a half a pound. A half a pound of liver fat equals 4 pounds of visceral fat equals 25 pounds of subcutaneous fat. So as you can see, different fat depots confer different reasons for metabolic disease. The goal is keep the liver fat down and keep the visceral fat down. The subcutaneous fat will go along for the ride.